listening to a Fresh Paths podcast from Newlife Erdington. We are a family-friendly church in the heart of Birmingham who love people, and more importantly, we love Jesus too. Each week we offer you a sermon or a bite-sized Bible lesson that is perfect for busy people that are on the go, whether you're in the car, at the gym, or just taking a break from work. The Pathway podcast makes it easy to get your regular dose of inspiration and wisdom. So with that being said, let's get to it.
Singing the song. And when God has been good to you, I don't think people should keep it to themselves at all. So we're going to give a testimony this morning and also a request. It's been 2 years since I had my stroke. 2 long years, and it seems to have gone very quickly. And I thank God every single day. I thank Him even for the stroke, because if I hadn't had the stroke, they would not have discovered that I had lung cancer. Because I had no symptoms, no pain. I was just suffering with my arthritis, which something that I grew to live with. And all through these 2 years of coming backwards and forwards, God has been good and gracious. Ron Kerry, we often talk. She was my voice when I lost my voice. And when I could speak, was reading the newspapers and hearing all these people, because of the pandemic, all going through it in the pandemic, they weren't able to have their operations. People were dying, people suffering with cancer being put back. And God is a good and gracious God. I was fast-tracked every single time. September, I had my stroke. And by November, my surgeon chose to part me from part of my lung. So just took a month and a half for the diagnosis and the operation. And all through the months, because I have to go every 3 months, just to check. I got a little bit of problem with fluid on my lung. That's a result of the operation, but I'm coping with it, and my appointments have never been missed. I get phone calls at home, partly due to Kerry, because she's a little bit of a watchrider when it comes to chasing things up. She's been such an excellent advocate for me. But I thank God so much, because I could, if things hadn't happened the way they had, I perhaps would not have been here today. And that is my testimony, because God has been so good and kind. I've not waited. In fact, I'm getting phone calls from the doctor. I'm thinking, oh, please go away. I spoke to you last week. But every time I have an appointment, they call me at home. And it doesn't always happen for everybody. So I know God is with me. That's my testimony. Now, a request. I went in one of my appointments in August, and for the first time I met my consultant surgeon. I expect he operated on me. Parted me from part of my lung, but I didn't meet him until in August, when I went for one of my appointments. It was okay, as consultants go. Nothing drastic. Just told me the result, and he's quite pleased with the way I'm getting on. In fact, he was a little bit, when you get to that position, it can be a little bit arrogant sometimes, these consultants. But you medical people, we've worked and we know sometimes you don't take any notice of them. So last week, he says to me, the result, he telephoned me and he said, which was unusual to get a telephone call at all from your consultant surgeon. It is normally the housemen or the registrars or the junior doctors. But when I answered the phone and introduced himself, I thought, I sat up straight because the 43 is calling. Something is not quite right. But then he reassured me and he says, everything is going as planned. You know, you get a little bit tired and we're still having to battle the fluid on the lung, but, you know, we're keeping an eye on that. And I thought, well, you didn't need to call me for that. There was a silence on the phone for a couple of seconds. And when I said, Mr. Day, I thought he'd gone off the line. And when he came back on the line, there were tears in his voice. And his voice was choked up. And he said, Cynthia. I says, yeah. He says, please pray for me. I'm a believer. Sometimes you have to stop and think. My reaction isn't as quick as it used to be. Because I would have probably says, yeah, but believe in what? Because some of us are believers, but we still have to ask, who do you believe and what do you believe? But my head heard it and my heart reacted. And I'm asking you, please, I do believe. I don't know how God works, sometimes in mysterious ways. For this man that doesn't know me, I've never discussed religion with him, because you just don't. And you have to choose your time and place sometimes if you are going to witness it to somebody. But for him to call me out of the blue and ask me to pray for him, he knows I'm not a Muslim. He's met me, but we never discussed Jesus Christ or anything like that. Carrie was with me because we put the answer phone on when we got hospital phone calls. And when he says that, she went, what? And then when he put the phone down, I said, did you hear what I heard? And she said, what did you hear? And I said, Mr. Reed just asked for prayers and tell me that he's a believer. She said, this is what I heard as well. So I'm asking you, I don't know if it's how you feel about it. His name is I'm asking you to pray for him because I don't think it's ever wrong when somebody asks for prayer, to say, no, I can't. So in your sessions, please intercede, because we don't know how God works. He says, obviously by his name and his appearance, he is part of a Muslim community. But they tell me that he's a believer and he's asking for prayers. My head heard it and my heart reacted. So when you remember him, if you write his name down, please. I promised I would. And I'm asking you as well if you would, when you remember, to pray for him, because through him maybe his family, other family members can come to Christ. Thank you.
You've been listening to a Fresh Paths podcast from Newlife Erdington. We hope that you not only enjoyed the message, but that you will be able to apply some of what you've heard to your own life. For more information about our church or to contact us for prayer, go to www.newlife.org.uk.